Hey, yo, what's gamer players? It's your boy, Desmond Sharpman, back out here on this Madden 21 franchise mode. And we are here with another 1 o'clock scheduled game here in the season finale, week 17. Now, in this matchup, we have the Cowboys and the Giants from MetLife Stadium, which you now know that will be the AFC side's road to the Super Bowl. So basically, every single AFC team, if they want to get to the Super Bowl, they're gonna have to go through MetLife Stadium to get there, because the Jets are gonna be the current number 1 seed heading into the postseason with their undefeated regular season. But unfortunately for the Giants, they're gonna finish out the regular season at home, so we're gonna see if they can finish it with a win, or we're gonna see if they can finish it with a win. But Dallas, they're trying to come in and rebound off of their loss against Philadelphia, because in that game they had a chance to force the NFC East Championship to this week if they could have beaten Philadelphia in week 16, but they didn't beat them, so now they're gonna have to try to finish out the season with one more victory. Now there's the current standings in the NFC East. Right now, you already know that Philadelphia clinched the division with their win over Dallas back in week 16, as I mentioned. But if you didn't see the last matchup between the Cowboys and the Giants, go back and check out week 5 of the regular season. Now this game was intense. The Cowboys were up 35-0 at halftime. Then the Giants started coming back and they got it down to a 7-point game. Then it was 35-28. But then Ezekiel Elliott sealed the game with the game-clicking touchdown run. And Dallas ended up going on to win it 42-28 against the Giants in that first meeting. Now here are the stats from the last game, so you'll know exactly what happened. Now I'm pretty sure we're hoping for many more different results from the last matchup. And also, don't forget, if you haven't seen the rest of the games here in week 17, be sure to go check those games out. And make sure to check out the rest of the regular season also, because the regular season is just about gonna come to an end. Because guys, I also forgot to mention, we only have 6 games remaining of the regular season. You already know we got the 3 1 o'clock scheduled games left, and the 4 o'clock scheduled games. You already know Raiders, Broncos, Cardinals, Rams, and Seahawks, 49ers, where you know both of these teams will be resting their starters since they're already both in the playoffs. But the game of the week we're getting closer to, the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers doing battle, where the winner of that one will get a spot in the playoffs. So with that being said, let's head down to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. We're going to see who finishes out the season with the victory. It's the Cowboys and Giants next. Let's go.
Today, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's week 17 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll will see Daniel Jones and the New York Giants taking on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
We welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for something.
All right, so the Cowboys, they're going to kick it off to the Giants to start the game. So you will see that man, Daniel Jones, and that Giant offense to start the game. And we're going to see how they will fare in the very last week. They've dropped 4 games in a row. Dallas, they're also on a 1-game losing streak. We're going to see who comes out on top in the final week as we are underway from MetLife Stadium. And here's Ballantyne returning it. And they're going to get him down right at the 25-yard line. So here's Daniel Jones set to lead this Giant offense.
Jones leading the way, the number 6 pick in the 2019 draft.
I love this quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss.
Here's a toss. Barkley. And he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage at the 26.
Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
No gain on the play.
Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring him down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
And here's Barkley.
And he'll fight forward.
And they're going to get him down at the 27, a pickup of 2.
Not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, a gain of about 1. Now 3rd down.
Cowboys after 6 Pro Bowl appearances in Tampa and 1 good season in Carolina.
To throw on 3rd down,
Jones, and he's sacked. Clinton Dix takes down Daniel Jones that time.
Zooms in for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away.
And here's Winslow. And they're going to get him down right at the 46-yard line. And the Cowboys set to take over possession. And leading them out, Dak Prescott.
The Cowboys under head coach Mike McCarthy. They are led out by their 27-year-old quarterback, a 2-time Pro Bowler. It's Dak Prescott.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. If he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team.
And here's Elliott.
And
he's going to be tackled at the 49-yard line, getting this in the Giant territory.
The tally on 1st down, that brings up 2nd and 5.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to.
And here's a toss. Elliott. And Ezekiel Elliott with some space. And he's tackled at the 11-yard line.
38 yards on the scamper there. Well, what made that toss out to the right so successful? Because it looked pretty easy.
A belief in the play. An absolute execution by all 11 on the offensive side of the ball. Everyone took care of their assignment. But the reason they did so, every time that play's called, they think it's going to go for big yardage. It's their staple play, and they love to run it.
Prescott, and he completes this to Griffin. And he'll be tackled at the 5-yard line. A gain of 6.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On second down,
and here's Elliott, and he's brought down in the backfield. A loss of a yard that time.
Get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Out of the gun. Here's
Prescott, end zone, and it's dropped. Winslow had it, but he couldn't hold on.
And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Cowboys trot out Greg Zuerlein from the right hash.
So here's Zuerlein on for the Cowboy field goal. And he's got it. And the Cowboys, they lead 3-0.
Giants, nothing.
Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
And one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive.
Here's Valentine returning it.
And he'll go down.
And they're going to get him down at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now here's the Giants.
As the Giants head back out there, let's take
And
a
you
look
can
at
see the NFC playoff picture. We only have 2 spots remaining. Now, it could be either the Falcons and Rams or the Buccaneers and Rams who punch their ticket towards the playoffs. Because remember, the Rams play in the 4 o'clock schedule, and if they can win their game against Arizona, then they will get a playoff spot.
The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
They'll start out on the ground.
And here's Barkley. And he's tackled at the 29-yard line. A pickup of 4.
Dontari Poe in on the stop.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Jones, and that's caught. Griffin, and they're going to get him down at the 48, and a 1st down for the Giants.
5 catches for him now on the year, and it's a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Throwing on 1st down.
Jones, blitz coming. He's sacked.
Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Another try after the 1st down sack.
Jones, and that's caught by Barkley.
Call it a 3-yard
Gain of 3. Now it's 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him.
Jones looking around, and it's caught by Griffin.
It's complete. He's got it.
But that one goes backwards. A loss of 2 that time. Now it's 4th down.
Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football. 3-0 after one on EA Sports.
For the Giants.
And this one's sent away. And Winslow's not going to return it.
And a great job on
and they're going to down this one at the 4-yard line.
Inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start the drive.
And here's Elliott. And Elliott now with some space. Ezekiel Elliott. And he takes it to the opposite 45-yard line.
52 yards. Nothing fancy there. A little smash mouth football right up the gut on the dive, and it turns into a huge play.
You talk about the fastest way to the secondary. Right up the gut as you described, and sprinted into the secondary for a long, long run.
So forget about being backed up. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way across midfield. They keep on the ground.
And here's Elliott again.
Some good tackling there,
and they're going to get him at the 41. A pickup of 3.
Play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Prescott. And caught by Griffin. And they're going to get him down at the 20-yard line. And a 1st down for Dallas.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
And here's Elliott running outside.
And able to fight
and he's tackled at the 13-yard line. A gain of 7.
Carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3, Elliott. And he's tackled at the 12. A pickup of a yard. Now it's 3rd.
Good run on 1st down, followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Prescott on 3rd and 2.
Prescott, and that's caught. And they're going to get him down at the 5-yard line. Brings up a 1st and goal.
It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion.
He connected with the fullback all the while that time.
One man in the backfield, Elliott.
Prescott, Enzo, Winslow, touchdown Dallas.
Cowboys.
Touchdown.
A 5-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point.
Here's Zuerlein for the extra point. And he puts it in to make it 10-0 Dallas.
Lead to 10-zip. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And Valentine's not going to return this one. This one will be a touchback.
So we will start here at the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being...
And here's Barkley.
But the teams that run the
And they're going to get him down at the 28-yard line. A pickup of 3.
And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. From the gun, Jones,
and it's caught. Griffin. And they're going to get him down at the 46-yard line.
Just in front of the 2-minute warning. 46-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress.
Jones, pressure, he's sacked.
Down, a Cowboys sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football
Jones, and open, he's got Crowder. And Crowder with some room. And he's tackled at the 20-yard line.
It's a big-time play there for the G-Man. 44 yards.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they've been seeking.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
Jones, and he throws it incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's Jones.
Jones, and that one's incomplete.
And that'll fall incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish
Jones, and that one is incomplete. Now it's 4th down.
Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them,
and the field goal is up and good, and now it's 10 to 3.
Makes the score Cowboys 10, Giants 3.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Following the field goal on is Riley Dixon to kick this one away. This is Tony
And here's the
Pollard.
return by Pollard. And they're going to get him down right at the 29-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing some
Prescott, and he's sacked.
These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive
Prescott
back.
looking again, and he finds Griffin. Kevin Griffin. There he goes. Touchdown, Dallas.
2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squeak.
Extra point is good, and it's now 17-3.
Right before the half ends.
Good point. Zerline good with a PAT, and the lead is now 17-3. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken in the end zone.
And Valentine, he's going to take a knee in the end zone. This one will be a touchback.
Out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think
and they're going to hand it to Barkley. And they're going to get him down at the 32.
Out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And with that, that's going to do it for the first half. 17-3 with the Cowboys leading the Giants.
As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time.
Up next, we're going to be in Philadelphia. The Eagles, you already know they've clinched the division in the NFC East as they host Washington. Then it's the game of the week I keep mentioning of. The Atlanta Falcons and Tampa Bay Buccaneers are battling for a playoff spot.
Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The first half has been great. Dallas, they've been putting up some points. They've got a 2-touchdown lead, 17-3. They're looking to hold on to that lead. The Giants are looking to overcome it and get back in it.
Back for quarter number 3.
So the Cowboys, they will get the ball to start the second half of play.
Regular season are upon us as the second half of week 17 is underway.
And this one won't be returned, so this one will be a touchback.
So we will start here at the 25. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
And now we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
And here's Elliott.
In that zone that you're talking about.
And they're going to get him down at the 31, a gain of 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Prescott, blitz coming at him, and it's incomplete.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Prescott, and that one's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So now the Cowboys are going to punt it away.
In the loss last week as he sends this one away.
And Griffin, he's going to be brought down at the 20 as the Giants will take over possession. And Daniel Jones set to lead them back out.
And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now he'd like to stay upright.
Jones, and that's caught by Griffin.
Looking middle, and
And he's tackled at the 32-yard line. Again, a 12 first down.
Likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender.
Barkley.
Because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And they're going to get him down at the 38, a gain of 6.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Jones fakes the give to Barkley.
Jones, and that one's incomplete.
Chidobe there to make the play in coverage.
So many times we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Jones looking around. No one's open. He's sacked. DeMarcus Lawrence. He takes him down, and it's 4th down.
That is 9 sacks for him. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And here's Winslow. And they're going to get him down at the 32-yard line as the Cowboys take over possession.
With a new set of downs. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why
and here's Elliott. And they're going to get him down at the 35, a pickup of 2.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Prescott. Oh, and that's caught. Cooper. And they get him down at the 47. First down for Dallas.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score
Prescott was trying to go to Winslow, but unfortunately, Cooper ended up having it.
I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And here's Elliott. And they're going to get him down inside the 45.
It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Prescott, and that one is caught. He's got Cooper. And they're going to get him down. A gain of 5 on that one.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 37-yard line.
They play fake to Elliott. Now
the action. Prescott. And that one's incomplete.
That's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when it
I do feel like he threw that a bit too late. That's how that deflection happened. 3rd and 5. And he finds Elliott. And Elliott. And he's got the first.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Prescott has all day, and he finds Griffin.
Taken in by his tight end.
And they're going to get him down inside the 20.
13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
First down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Prescott. And that's caught by Cooper. Touchdown, Dallas.
To the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical.
Extra point is up and good, and it's 24-3.
But surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one
Here's
away.
Jones to kick this one away.
That'll be taken
And Valentine, he will take a knee in the end zone, so this one will be a touchback.
The New York set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many
Here's a
teams patient enough to
toss.
stick with
Barkley.
the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air.
And they're going to get him down at the 29. A gain of 4.
A gain of 4.
29-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
And that's going to do it for quarter number 3.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Operating from the gun, Jones.
And that one's going to be incomplete.
Says this will be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Now Jones to throw on 3rd down.
Jones on 3rd down, and he finds Crowder.
It's complete.
And they're going to get him down at the 43 and a first down for the G-Men.
Conversion. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Jones, and that's caught. Golden Tate. And he picks up a gain of 8 on that completion. 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the Cowboys' 49 yards.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun,
Jones, and he's sacked. Landon Vander Esch, he gets the sack that
I
time.
think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Jones throwing on 3rd and long.
Jones, and he's sacked again.
Daniel Jones.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Jones now throwing on 4th down.
Jones gets hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. And the Giants turn it over.
Come up empty. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
And here's Elliott.
Keep it on the ground.
And he's tackled right at the 25, but losing yardage.
This time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's
And here's Elliott. And they're going to get him at the 24, but for no gain. So now it's 3rd and 11.
These guys, they got it going today.
3rd down.
On third down, it's
Prescott, and he finds Elliott. And Elliott, and I think he was short of the first. And he was a yard short.
In possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided.
And here's Elliott, and he's got the first down.
Picks up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth.
At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside.
And Elliott again, and this time he loses yardage.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
On second down.
And here's Elliott.
Yeah, looks like a pickup
And
of
he's
6.
tackled at the 10 after a gain of 6. Now third down.
Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Prescott from the gun on third.
Prescott, and that's caught. Winslow, and he's tackled at the 1 yard line. Now it's first and goal.
It's a first down. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they...
And Elliott, he's going to get in. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Ezekiel Elliott, his 9th touchdown.
And they are on their way to their 7th victory on the season.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit, but for them, I don't think it's in their DNA.
The Dallas Cowboys are on their way from finishing with a 7-9 regular season.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28.
So I guess what happened the first time when Dallas was up big and they ended up blowing the lead a little bit, but the Giants didn't come all the way back. But this time around, that didn't happen.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just
Jones, and that one is incomplete.
Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Jones gets hit as he throws, and it's incomplete.
Second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
On the deep ball. Brings up third down and 10.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun,
Jones looking deep again for Griffin, and he dropped it.
Incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Got to try it here. He's back to
Jones, and that one is caught by Crowder with 3 seconds remaining. The Giants are just looking for one more shot here because they already know that they're gonna lose the game, so they're gonna try one more shot. Jones, deep ball, and that one is incomplete, and Dallas wins the game.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for the Cowboys, the win won't get them to 500, but they will finish on a high note at 7-9. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Giants, this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-12 campaign. And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the way. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Man, oh man. Dallas came in there focused. I'm not even going to lie. They came in there focused. And they're going to finish off the season with a 7-9 record. But not the record they wanted to have though. So the first meeting, it was going the Cowboys' way. Giants ended up coming back, but then Dallas held on with the game-sealing touchdown in the first meeting. But the second meeting, it was completely different. Dallas dominated, holding the Giants to only 3 points. So here are the stats. Dak Prescott finished with 187 yards passing, 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions. That's a way to finish out the regular season. And Daniel Jones finished with 140, but he didn't get a touchdown at all. So he didn't want to finish out the season like that. Here's the running game. Ezekiel Elliott, 130 yards rushing and a touchdown. Saquon Barkley ran 7 times for 25, and that was just it. And here's the receiving. Kevin Griffin, 4 catches for 117 and a touchdown. DeMarcus Crowder, 3 catches for 81. Ryan Griffin, 4 catches for 48. Amari Cooper, 3 catches for 36 yards and a touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, 2 catches for 15. Kawhi Winslow, 2 catches for 13 and a touchdown. Golden Tate, a catch for 8. Jamize Alawal, the fullback, he caught the ball for 6. And Saquon Barkley, a catch for 3. So for the Cowboys, they won't finish at 500 though, but they will finish at a 7-9 regular season. And I'm pretty sure that's not the regular season that they wanted to have, but they did have themselves a tremendous regular season. Meanwhile, for New York, they will fall here in the season finale to finish at 4-12. And now they're gonna have to focus on what they're gonna do for the off season coming up. Alrighty, so with that result there, we now have 5 games remaining here of the regular season. Now we only have 2 1 o'clock games left. We have the Eagles against Washington, and the game of the week, Falcons and Buccaneers. Then the 3 floor cot scheduled games, featuring the Rams hosting the Cardinals. And if the Rams win that one, then they are in the playoffs. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed this game, be sure to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And next up on the list, we will be up in Philly. Yes, we'll be up in Philadelphia. The NFC East champion Philadelphia Eagles, they host the Washington football team, who are looking to avoid a winless regular season.